Konnichiwa, my name is Logan Charles Luna, and this video is going to be about Berserktober. So, Berserktober is just kind of what I did for the October Art Challenge this year. Usually I just do whatever and don't really stick all that much to a prompt list or anything. So this year, because of course of what happened with Kentaro Miura and the Berserk series, I decided to go with redrawing the first 31 volumes of Berserk. So this is the volume 1 cover, and it's just going to keep going on from there. So this one has Guts just gearing up. It's the Black Swordsman arc version of Guts. It's the introduction to the character, and when the story begins, you know that there's something up with Guts, but you just don't know what until they reveal it later in the Golden Age arc. So after that volume 2 cover, you see Guts fixing his metal arm. Volume 3, it's kind of starting to get into more of the backstory on Guts, and just the Golden Age arc is kicking off. You see Guts there, and he's joined the Band of the Hawk, and you start to learn more about his character, more about what he wanted in the past, and his friends, and how he went from where he was to where he is now. This volume cover was definitely, interesting and ominous, especially because you have the Band of the Hawk next to the flag, standing in front of Griffith, Casca next to him, and Guts in the forefront. Alright, another Guts just posing heroically. I tend to enjoy the ones with Guts and another character the most, especially because Miura, for his volume covers, even when he did something like All Out, he still kind of tried to condense it to have it where the main focus was the characters involved rather than what they were doing, with what they were doing being limited, mainly because you don't want to spoil or ruin parts of the story for people, but you definitely want to draw them in. That's why chapter covers and volume covers really do serve as kind of like trailers for manga. Here we have Griffith and his cape, and flowing into the cape is the outline of Guts. Guts being attacked. Guts and the Skull Knight. Guts and just all the sorts of things that he's battling. This is also leaning towards the introduction of the Lost Children arc and the Conviction arc. Griffith emerging as the monster that you will see him at the end of Golden Age. Of course, we have the Eclipse cover. Guts with Puck. Again, just Guts striking a stance. He's very worn out and battle drawn at this point, and just dealing with all the stuff he deals leading up in the Conviction arc. Guts going up against a monster for the next volume cover. Once again, Guts and Puck. And it was very interesting because I didn't want to make like a full-on recreation of the covers that Kentaro Miura made. I wanted to definitely do them in my own art style and add my own touch to it. So there were some effects like the glowing light effect from Puck that I definitely toned down a bit. I didn't want him like shining through the entire thing. We have Guts again, and Kentaro Miura or the publishing company or whoever started doing these kind of bordered off volume covers where there's a lot of blank space, mainly so that like the title wouldn't mess up with whatever artwork Kentaro Miura had. Because most of the earlier ones, there's just like a giant berserk or the kanji plastered right on top, and it does sometimes break the flow of everything. Guts jumping from the moon like he's freaking Batman. Casca, Griffith in the Millennium Falcon arc. Guts and Griffith fully armored. Well, Guts doesn't have the full Berserk armor on, and Griffith doesn't have his whole deal going on either. Guts, Casca, and the looming danger behind them. This is somewhat the new Band of the Hawk. You have Guts, Casca, and some of the other characters. And particularly, you mainly just see them kind of banding together, but also keeping at arm's length. Except for the kid, he definitely idolizes Guts and hopes to become like him in the future. Still a bit unaware of all the stuff Gut went through to be how he is right now. So we just start to see more of the adversity not only Guts has, but Guts and his friends in these volume covers, letting you know that their journey, just life in general, really isn't going to be easy for them at all. They're going to be facing obstacles at every turn of the way. I really like this volume cover because Miura focused more on just the agony of Guts and how he would not surrender. There have been many moments in the story where Guts could have, taken his own life, and he decided against it so many times, and he's still going strong. He doesn't want to give up at this point. And it's just showing you the struggle that even though he has the will to continue, it's still a constant battle, not just in the physical aspect, but definitely emotionally for Guts. A very cool pose of Guts with the Berserk armor on, just standing strong, looking very menacing. Speaking of which, this is the full Berserk armor version of Guts up against the moon. Once again, taking a very Batman pose. Guts a bit more confident, and however more he has to endure, he's willing to endure it in order to ensure a better life for his friends and Casca. So throughout the Berserktober journey, I was trying to see if I was improving at all. Definitely my speed improved, because most of these only took me about, say 15 minutes to sketch up, and then another 15 or 17 to ink, with the ones towards the end taking me closer to an hour, like 45 minutes or 58 minutes to finish up. And yeah, I'm not still very confident to see whether or not my art has improved. My speed definitely improved a bit, but I feel like I'm still drawing at the same level that I was before I did the Berserktober challenge. And now we are at the final volume cover for this challenge, volume 31. You see Guts in the full Berserk armor. And the reason I wanted to do the volume covers more than any other just kind of theme or prompt stuff relating to Berserk was because of this. Here you have this somewhat monstrous looking protagonist still not willing to give up and still fighting against that which is more evil than even himself. And I really like that about Guts. He's not perfect. He never wanted to be a hero. He's just trying to survive. He's trying to move forward. He's trying to better himself so that he can be better for his loved ones. Alright, so that's going to be the end of the video. Let me know if you enjoyed any of the artworks I produced during this art challenge. If you followed the journey along social media, tell me which one was your favorite. And this will be it. This is Logan Charles Luna saying sayonara.